So, Professor, what do you want to tell me? Why don't we start at the beginning? You are a professor of history for the ONI, correct? Can you verbally acknowledge your answers? You have one option as of now. Comply. And if you don't comply, your treatment will only get worse. It's strange to read this. So many conflicting accounts of how something happened. You appear to be a woman who once believed in religion, right?
Yes, I consider myself religious.
And how did you deal with it? Surely you would conflict with other people on the proper way to practice, saying things so differently from what other people who would consider themselves religious. If we really did come from one place, then why do we have different ideas of how we came to be? We don't separate from each other because we all know the truth that we desire to know, how we got here. What's funny about this?
The idea that we could make people forget or believe differently.
An idea is formed, we influence this idea. They don't have an image to argue about. The fault of religion is that it branches. Jesus as a Messiah to many is a prophet to more. He was the messenger in more stories of the opposing beliefs than the Son of the Lord in others. The ideas that tell the same story but differ cause conflict.
The story opens. We, as humans, are social creatures. We build cities to live in. We prefer to live around others. We, as social creatures, will tell a story. That story will be retold and retold. Each time, something changes in that story. Little Red Riding Hood turns from a story about a little girl going to her grandmother's house, finding a wolf, falsifying the place of her grandmother, then finding a lumberjack to kill the wolf. Turns into a story about a girl in a tie-dye shirt, going to a new city, looking for her place in the world.
That's a stretch, don't you think?
What happened to Frankenstein?
He escaped the village to live where he was accepted.
Frankenstein, full of guilt, watched his creation become evil. He then went out vowing to destroy what he created. The monster was Frankenstein. The doctor is Victor Frankenstein, who created the nameless monster. Who is the monster by the end of the story?
I've been curious about a lot. And I've tried to find answers to my questions, but I never really found an answer that reflected what I took as truth.
There's something that is just perfect in this world. Or it was perfect. I remember clearly walking outside. I remember kissing my husband goodbye every morning before I had to go to work. The life I have lived is something so unique, something I yearn to never forget. If I forget it, then I lose what makes me wake up every day. I lose the memories that have made me. In Clockwork, which you suggest as the perfect utopia, it implies that I have a perfect life. I have a thing to do that I love to do. I am never sad, never lonely, never heartbroken. But the problem will arise. How will I be able to distinguish being happy from pain, being love to hate? The emotions are what keep us human.
We're slaves to emotions. I see that you feel that way.
So what happens next? Jane?
The chain's for people we don't really care about. We have something different for you. The stories are merely stories. They have no truth to them. And now your stories will be locked away, and no one will have access to them.